Calais Campbell, Ely Anku, Brooks Ellis, and DeAndre Smelter. So those 4, Campbell, Anku, Ellis, and Smelter, will not be practicing today. We'll open up for questions.
I'm almost mistaken sometimes. I'm going to come here, I'm going to bring my phone, and I'm going to tweet out first. And get that. That's got to be tough for you guys. You know what I'm saying? To be that fast and get ready for the next question. We should have like he should say it, and then we have like a moment, so this way everyone can get it out, and then we can start. So no one gets caught behind. That's all.
If you're good with
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm fine with that.
How's the team responded this week to, this kind of a grind week? Yeah. How do you feel they've handled these 4 days into tonight?
Pushing. I think we were lucky with the weather, meaning that we had some pretty good days. I think that when we first came, probably the first day we practiced was the toughest one. So the weather gave us a break, and I think the players have been pushing themselves, competing. I think that we've seen that we still have a long way to go, and tonight's a part of it. I think that we're excited to get out there. It's always good when our fans can come out to the stadium and see the team. It's an evening time, so I hope that they can bring their kids and a lot of other people. But there's a lot going on. It's we'll start the practice off just like we normally do, and then we'll get into some situations again, ones versus ones and things of that nature, moving it around. But for us as coaches, it's also, we're working on, communication. We'll have headphones on, just making sure we're going through that again, even though we've been together as a staff before. We want to do that. And I think, I've always believed that, there's something special about, playing on an NFL game field. I think that, we have a lot of young guys, that this is their first time, their first opportunity. You can look at it as like, hey, get used to the surface, used to the grass, things of that nature. But I think I always think it's special, when you get onto a game field here in the NFL.
You guys signed a veteran defensive tackle. Is that in any relation to Anku going down yesterday, or is that just?
We just want to make sure we have enough players practicing. Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was going to say, what have you seen from Saliga in his career, and why was he a guy that you wanted to sign?
I just saw him today when we worked him out. So I think that's probably a better question for the pro scouting department. Might be able to give you more insight on what they've seen.
Is there any concern that the ankle injury could be a little bit longer than just a couple of practices?
Yeah, I think you always got to be concerned, about a lot of these injuries. You don't know how they're going to come back. You don't know. Until the doctor says. I mean, I've had the doctor tell me sometimes, hey, he'll be back in 48 hours, and a week later he's not back. And I've had someone say he'll be back in about 8 to 10 days, and he's come back in 4. So I think it's very difficult. I've been burnt before, by that same time frame or return to practice situation. So I just kind of I look at it, and when they come back, they come back. It's hard to tell someone else's pain. I mean, that's the one thing I kind of always look at things. Like if someone said, oh, they had a wrist, and I've had a wrist in my career, I'd be like, well, I was back in one. I don't mess around with that stuff. So the only thing I look for is that when we do have people and they may be out for a while, to make sure that we have enough people at that position. Because I think in training camp it's difficult, because what are you going to do? You don't want to give, I think the young guys, you like to give them extra reps, but you don't want, some of the other guys taking more than they should, to get themselves ready.
Will you utilize this to do any more teamwork that you have in practices during camp?
It'd probably be a little bit more, what I'm saying, and it's, in tonight. But it's still, I probably made a mistake, because I think a lot of people refer to it, and I actually refer to it as like a scrimmage, but I really should have referred to it as just a situational practice, because we're not going to do anything live, any live drills of things of that nature. We have done live drills during the course of training camp, just to make sure some of the tackling drills. But again, with a situation like tonight, we'll be mostly thud or tag off when we get into the 2-minute stuff.
You brought up playing in the stadium, or practicing in the stadium. When you were the interim, you had guys actually practice in the stadium during the week. Do you think that could come back this year? I
think if we're playing at home, I like to practice in the stadium, but So, I mean, it's just something that I've done, and, you know, I just get a feel. And for me, it's about visualization. You get down and practice, and you visualize yourself making a play within the next 48 hours. It's going to be real, and it's just something that but I've done it just really for the home games. If we're away, I don't think it makes a difference, whether we practice on the field or not.
We just got the officials crew, and they seem confident that after going through the points of emphasis with the players, that the players have a better understanding of the helmet rule and all that. Did you get that sense from them as well?
Absolutely. I thought John Perry and his, the crew, the couple of guys that he brought from his crew, I thought they did an outstanding job. And I think, anytime there's something new or, and there's a lot of stuff out there and there's being a lot said, sometimes you just got to take a step back, say, well, hey, wait a minute. Let's get the officials in here. And I thought that John and the guys that he brought in with him, which are part of his crew, did an unbelievable job of communicating. We had a lot of stuff for them. They really helped us out as coaches, where we know, hey, listen, this is a foul, this isn't, this is what they're going to call. And that's only going to make us better. Make us better coaches and give our players an opportunity to play the game within the rules and know what, may or not be called. And I think that, some rules are hard, fast, meaning, hey, if you jump off sides, you're off sides. But some of it, a lot of it is interpretation, of what they see. So, it's great to have the officials here and say, hey, this is what we're looking for. If we see, an advantage being made, with a wide receiver or a defensive back, and someone's trying to, they're hand fighting and they gain an advantage, if they gain an advantage, that's the key. That's where you would get, the DPI, the OPI. So I think things like that, and be able to look at tape with them and they say, no, that's not enough. Yeah, that is enough, is great for us to use with our players, to tell them, hey, look, you can do this, but you can't do that. And I thought they did a great job. I think he's one of the best out there.
Do you think it'll take a little bit of time?
I'm sorry.
Is this something that
you guys are so polite to each other? Gee, not polite to me. No one ever says that. Oh, sorry, Coach. No.
Do you think that's something that you and your coaches, if you see that violation in practice, is it something that you consciously stop? How do you?
Yeah, we coach it. We keep track of it during the practice. If one of the, we don't have a full crew, so if one of the officials see it and throw a flag, but we're constantly coaching that. You're talking about, field position or putting yourself in tough situations. So we're telling the players that. But, what we did now is we just kind of took the practice clips that, sometimes, Keenan and Perry will say, well, that's offensive. Oh, no, that's defensive. You know what I mean? So, that stuff goes on. We're very competitive as coaches. So what we'll do is we'll pull those clips, put them to the side, and then when the officials come, we'll break it out and show them and have us have them go through it with us, and that's a great learning experience for us as staff, and I think it's a great learning experience for us as players, where we can help the players play the game better than they're playing.
Did you by chance watch last night to see how they were called?
No, I was working. Yeah, I didn't get a chance. I won't get a chance really. Sometimes the night before the game, like if we're playing on a Friday or a Saturday and there's a preseason game prior to that, I may be able to look at it, but I won't really be able to do it if it's any other time because of our schedule.
All right, finish with D-Rod.
Do you think there's going to be a tougher level of adjustment for the offensive defensive lineman with the helmet rule there than maybe those guys in the secondary?
No, I think it's very clear. I think that we want to keep the head up. I think it was communicated well. I think we have a lot of clips on it. Obviously, I had a lot more clips for the tape. I'm saying, that weren't used because of the time that we how much time we wanted on it. So I'm not concerned about that as far as someone knowing what to do. What we're trying to do is to just keep coaching, the technique, hey, lead with the hands. Your hands should be in there first. Don't lead with the head. Don't put your head down. Things of that nature to try to make this game, safer. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's difficult. Anytime you're a coach, whatever the injury is, whether it's caused by the ground or whatever it may be. you know, it's tough. It's a person's livelihood. It's their job. They're professionals. So, you know, anytime you have an injury, you know, that can, you know, that's tough. A whole family is affected by it. You know, I remember in college, you know, we'd have players, and even here in the NFL, you know, they get hurt on the field. You know, we have people that, you know, are assigned to, you know, call their, you know, loved ones, whoever it be, husband, wife here, you know, but in college, you know, we had the parents. You know, because they're up there, they just see it. You know, a lot of times you're on the road, it's on TV. You know, it's scary. You know, it's a scary experience. So, you know, I really believe whatever we can do to make the game safer, we should look at everything. And I think that we're doing a good job of that. I think a lot of discussions came up, and I think we're trying to get it right. Great, appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey guys, we're on the far side of the field today, so on the east side.